Four teams remain in the Club World Cup. Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the European Football All-Time channel, and today welcome to my Club World Cup semi-final predictions. Of course, tonight and tomorrow we will find out the two teams that will compete in the final of the Club World Cup on Sunday. Of course, four very good teams left, but without further ado, let's get into the video. And the first game is from the MetLife Stadium in New York City, as it is Fluminense of Brazil against Chelsea of England. Now, of course, Chelsea, obviously the only English team left in this tournament. And I mean, Chelsea, in fairness to them, they've done quite well to get to where they are. You could say they've had a bit of an easy route to where they've got to. Obviously, had a comfortable group, let's be honest. Benfica, Chelsea were probably expected to win, but Benfica aren't a bad side. And of course in the quarters against Palmeiras, again Palmeiras not a bad side, but I think people would have expected Chelsea to go through. And of course in this game tonight against Fluminense, people will expect Chelsea to go through, but I wouldn't write off Fluminense at all. They've been quite good in this tournament, and of course they are the only non-European side left in this tournament, so I think a lot of people will be wanting Fluminense to probably go on and win the whole thing, as probably, well, not even probably, because they are the only non-European side left. And it would be quite nice really to see not a European team going on to win this competition. So and as a Spurs fan, I want Fluminense to win anyway tonight, because I cannot stand Chelsea one bit. But Chelsea, I mean, they've kind of got a bit of experience of how the Brazilian teams are going to play. Obviously, they played Palmeiras in the last round. I think they played the Brazilian team in the group. They played Flamengo as well, didn't they? So they kind of know what the Brazilian teams are about. So they kind of know what to expect, to be honest with you. But a club like Fluminense, they're very good defensively. Palmeiras and Flamengo, not really as good defensively, but defensively, Fluminense are very good. And of course, they've got a former Chelsea player as their captain. Of course, Thiago Silva, the main man at the back for Fluminense. So, I mean, he's going to be leading that defence to try and stop, the likes of Palmer, Pedro if he starts, and Cuckoo, and all these other Chelsea attackers having shots at the goal. And I think Fluminense are more than capable to try and stop Chelsea from scoring, because I think if you've watched Fluminense in this tournament, they've been quite good. Obviously they got a 0-0 draw against Dortmund. I mean, Dortmund did have a lot of shots in that game, but I thought Fluminense defensively played quite well. Against Inter Milan, I thought they played quite well. Again, I thought defensively Fluminense played quite well. So of course Inter, as the game got nearer to the end, obviously they were going for it, but Fluminense played very well. And also as well, the goalkeeper for Fluminense, 44-year-old, I think his name's Filippo. He's been very good in this tournament, and tonight he's probably going to have the performance of his life, and probably some of pretty much the whole Fluminense team. They've probably got to have the performance of their lives if they want to try and beat Chelsea, because Chelsea have been good in this tournament. We can't not say that. They've got to the semi-finals for a reason, and that's because they've played well. I mean, probably the one game they didn't really play well in was that Flamengo game. But that loss of Flamengo's kind of helped them in a sense, because obviously if they would have beaten Flamengo, they would have had to play Bayern Munich. And then if they would have beat Bayern, they probably would have had to play like Real Madrid or PSG or someone like that. So that defeat to Flamengo's probably helped Chelsea a bit. But Chelsea defensively have been good. I think Cucurella, for me, has been quite good in this tournament. He's been, every time he's been in a one-on-one situation, every time I've seen Cucurella in this tournament in a 1v1 situation, he's won every single battle. And tonight, he's going to be up against John Arias, who is not a bad player. He's been very good for Fluminense in this tournament. Likes to try and cut inside, take a shot on goal. So that should be an interesting battle between Arias and Cucurella. But that should be a very good matchup. And I mean, Chelsea going forward as well, they've probably been the best counter-attacking team, in my opinion, in this tournament. You know, Pedro Neto's been brilliant. Palmer's been good recently. And it's going to be interesting as well who's actually going to start up front for Chelsea tonight. Because obviously, I think Liam Delap is suspended. I think Jackson might be back now from his red card against, was it Flamengo he got sent off in? I think he might be back now. And I mean, Chelsea have got so many options to start up front. But, you know, I mean, Delap won't be there. Will Maresca go with Jackson? But I think Maresca, for me, will go with João Pedro. I mean, I didn't watch the whole game for Chelsea against Palmeiras, but apparently Pedro came on and he did alright. And for me, if I was Maresca, I think out of the options Chelsea have got up front, I'd go with João Pedro if I was Maresca, see how he gets on. And yeah, but like I was saying, Fluminense have got to try and stop that Chelsea attack, which I think they are more than capable to do. But I think Chelsea have got to watch out for the likes of, they've got to watch out for Arias. I think it's been quite good. Cano up front as well. Like I said, most people will be expecting Chelsea to go on and get to the final. But it won't be an easy game for Chelsea because Fluminense have been very good in this tournament. They've actually played really well against the European teams. I remember watching them against Dortmund. They drew 0-0. Good result for them. I watched the game against Inter Milan, and Fluminense thoroughly deserved to beat Inter Milan. I mean, Fluminense went 1-0 up inside like 3 minutes. So yeah, but it's going to be a good game. I think Fluminense will really give Chelsea a go. But I think Chelsea, with the attacking talent that they've got, I think they're going to just about win this game. So my final score is 2-1 to Chelsea. And the other game, it is Paris Saint-Germain taking on Real Madrid, also at the MetLife Stadium in New York City. Now, loads of people wanted PSG and Real Madrid to meet in the semi-final. Obviously, it didn't happen. It was obviously PSG against Arsenal. But this is going to be a very, very good game of football. Real Madrid, they've been a bit up and down for me in this tournament. I mean, I remember watching the opening game against Al Hilal. I don't think Real Madrid were that good in my opinion. I'll probably go far as saying Al Hilal were the better team. But I think as the tournament's gone on, I think Real Madrid have become better. I think defensively they're looking decent. Recently as well, they've gone with a bit of a more defensive setup. We saw it against Juventus. We saw it in the quarter-final as well against Dortmund. They went a bit with a defensive setup, I can't get my words out, with a defensive setup. I mean, Dortmund obviously were quite defensive as well, but it kind of failed. So but I do not be surprised if we see a defensive setup from Real Madrid, because Xabi Alonso, everyone knows how good PSG are. PSG are the best team in the world. They're the best team on the planet right now for a reason. I mean, in fairness in their last game against Bayern Munich, fair play to Bayern, by the way. I know they got knocked out, but I actually thought they gave PSG a real game. And of course, we've got to remember, by the way, before the game that happened, which obviously PSG won, Bayern obviously beat PSG in the Champions League. So obviously Bayern beat PSG in the Champions League, and they obviously played very well in that game. Obviously, hence they won. But in the quarter-final the other day, I actually thought Bayern played very well in that game. They definitely had some really good opportunities to score, and that PSG defence was obviously struggling at times. And of course, the PSG defence is going to struggle again. Obviously, it's got to stop Vinicius, it's got to stop Bellingham, it's got to stop all these other players. But of course, the main man, the two main players that PSG have got to try and stop. The first one is their ex-teammate, Kylian Mbappe. It's going to be interesting to see how much does Mbappe want it. I mean, bit of a stupid question really. Of course Mbappe is going to want it. He's going to want to beat his old team. And two, he wants to win this tournament with Real Madrid. So, I don't know. I don't even know why I said that. Of course he's really going to want it. But we'll have to see. But we're going to have to see how he gets on. Is it going to start? That's a good question to ask. Because the other player who PSG have got to watch out for is Gonzalo Garcia, because he has been very good in this tournament, and I think he's got to be grateful, really, that Xabi Alonso has given him the chance. I think he's actually the top goal scorer in this tournament, Gonzalo Garcia. I think he's quite young as well. I think he's like in his 20s or something. Let me ask my Alexa. Alexa, how old is Gonzalo Garcia?
Gonzalo Garcia is 21 years old.
21? He's 21? Damn. So, I mean, but he's been very good in this tournament, Garcia. He's been scoring goals for fun, getting in the box, pouncing on mistakes. And PSG, they've got to be careful at the back. If they make one mistake, Garcia's going to be there. All the time we're going to Mbappe. You never know. Alonso might start both of them. He might start both Garcia and Mbappe as a front two. You don't know. But if I was Alonso, I think from watching this tournament, I think he's got to start Garcia. He's been absolutely brilliant in this tournament. Mbappe, I mean, he did score that brilliant goal against Dortmund. I mean, a great goal it was. But I think from the whole tournament overall, I think you've got to start Garcia because he has been absolutely unbelievable. And I mean, Alex Trent recently, you know, he's been getting better. Of course, got an assist, I think, in that Dortmund game. Got an assist as well against Juventus. He's been getting better, but this is going to be a big test for him. He's going to be up against Kvaratskhelia, and he has been absolutely unreal in this tournament. Kvaratskhelia, I mean, PSG overall have been very good. Kvaratskhelia been good. Doué's been good. I mean, both fullbacks for Real Madrid. Just the Real Madrid defense in general. It's going to be a long night for them. They're going to have to stop Doué. They have to stop Dembele. They're going to have to stop Kvaratskhelia, and even that midfield as well. That midfield for PSG is very good. And I remember saying it in the Champions League predictions. I think I said it for the final that Real Madrid are gonna. I think I said it for the final that Inter Milan are gonna. They've got to try and match PSG's stamina, and that's what Real Madrid have got to do. Because I mean, PSG. Obviously, this tournament is being played out in the US. It is absolutely roasting out in the US. I mean, it's kind of hot here in the UK as well. It's like 25 degrees, so it is quite hot. But the way PSG, I mean, it's boiling hot over there, and they are still pressing. They're still running around, pressing right from the front every time. And you've got to give credit to them because they must be feeling absolutely knackered, but they keep on doing it. And they kind of, every time as well, you take a short goal kick against PSG, you're pretty much fucked. You are genuinely fucked. Because generally, you play out from the back, PSG, they will trap you, and there's no way to get out. And you'll try and clear the ball, you give the ball away, and PSG will go on and score from it. And we kind of saw it really in that round of 16 game against Inter Miami. Inter Miami kept trying to play out from the back, it didn't work, and PSG kept getting the ball off them. So Real Madrid really, they've got to try and knock it out from the back. I've just got to hoof it long and hope for the best because PSG, they're very good at pressing. They will press you down every time you got the ball. You'll be pressed every single time, and Real Madrid have got to watch that. And Real Madrid have got to watch that as well. But like I said, Real Madrid recently have been quite defensively set up, and they're probably going to do that again because, like I said, everyone knows how good PSG are. They're very attacking. They got quick players on the wing. They got brilliant midfielders. Defensively, they're good as well. So it will be difficult for PSG to score past Real Madrid because they're going to be quite defensively set up. But PSG know how to break defensive teams down. We saw it in the Champions League final against Inter. We saw it against Atletico Madrid. I mean, the only team that's set up defensively against PSG and got a good result was Botafogo. I mean, fair play to Botafogo. I was still amazed after that result. But Real Madrid, they've got to be really... If Real Madrid are nice and compact defensively and hit PSG on the counter-attack, Real Madrid have got a chance to knock them out. They really do. And this is going to be an absolutely brilliant game of football. PSG are good, and I think so far Real Madrid have been very good under Xabi Alonso. But in the end, we're going to crack on with the prediction now because I'm just waffling now. In the end, it's going to be a very, very tight game. But for me, I think it's going to go to extra time, and I think someone's going to nick it in extra time. And for me, that team is Paris Saint-Germain. I think they're going to nick it after extra time. So my final score is PSG 2, Real Madrid 1 after extra time. So that means I think the final will be PSG against Chelsea, which could be a good final, but we'll have to see. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Smash a like, subscribe, and I'll see you for the final on Sunday.